the times I want to give up or the times I feel like tested strongly to where I'm like nearing like, do I just stop? Do I just say fuck everything? Like I realize sometimes like, yo, God, it's gotta be God for you to have had and held on to the vision you've had for this long. The days that get really hard or I'm drained or anything like that, I myself will be like, damn, like, is this paying off? Is this worth it? Da da da. That still happens and has always happened. And we struggle as artists, like if you're not given a, investment money from somewhere, then you going out of pocket, there's so much you have to like filter through to figure out a way to support yourself as an artist on top of surviving. And I was like, I never want to end up here again. And I don't blame myself fully, but looking back, I'm just like, you ignored the mess till you couldn't.
Welcome to the Saint Pod.
You're far from saints, far from sinners. This is a place we're making y'all winners. Who do we have in the building today?
Isabella Armina, aka Isabella baby.
Hey man, so tell them, for everybody that don't know who you are, I know you're a little famous already, but for everybody that doesn't know who you are, let them know who you are and what you do.
Okay, Isabella Armina, also known as Izzy de la Baby. I'm an artist, multifaceted, I like to say. I act, I songwrite, sing, and record music, and do comedy. That's the main highlights.
Damn, comedian too.
Oh yeah,
that's something that I feel like you don't hear about a lot.
Yeah.
Let's just start here. How long you been doing music for?
About 5 years. We're in 2025. Since 2020, COVID, maybe the very end of 2019, I was already brewing, but 2020 is when I like released and really started. So,
what sparked that for you?
I think a breakup that turned to like, because it was somebody who was deeper into music and I was like shadowing him by accident just by like attending sessions and stuff, and then being like, low key, he would be like, you rap for real. And I'm like, I don't, what are you talking about? You a rapper? I'm like, no, I'm not. But not even just that, like I used to sing to myself and with my best friend growing up, like I always loved music. But I felt like breaking out of his shadow or what felt like that, eventually being like, oh, you know what if I did try it? Just went on YouTube, saw a beat that turned into my first song. I sat on it forever till I finished writing it, but it was just good practice until.
No bullshit. A lot of artists come up like that too. Like they're like the friend of the rapper. Like I think Pop Smoke was like that too.
Oh really?
Yeah, like he wasn't even a rapper, but and people kept telling him to get in the booth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
And so you kind of start off it was just fun at first.
I was coming from acting and comedy more. People told me get on the stage because it was like the way I would talk. I just crack jokes. I turn things into jokes, even unintentionally, or maybe just how I tell stories or have commentary. And people will be like, you need to do comedy. You need to do comedy. I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it. I tried it. Loved it. It was fun and all. But music was just like one extra level of like expression that just felt natural and fun to do. So, yeah.
So you're saying like your first love was kind of more the acting, theater kind of stuff. So what made you want to like go towards music more though,
I think it just naturally gravitated there because as a theater kid, like I know in school, shout out Kappa, you had to do the musical. You had to be musically in touch as it is. And again, I loved singing. I just thought my voice wasn't good enough. Low key, because of the school, I would hear vocalists because I was in the theater department. When I would pass by hearing the vocalist, I'm like, that's the bar.
Right.
I don't sound like that. I didn't think I could until I just said, let me try it. So yeah, it was kind of, I guess, just always in me waiting for the green light.
Word. What would you categorize your music as, like your genre?
I hate that question because I don't know. Okay, I know I read as like pop. I feel like the reaction I get is like, oh, this is pop. I'm like, okay, but really I think it dabbles between like an alternative version of like rap, R&B, dance. Yeah, like soul-ish touches there. It's kind of a blend, I think, of the stuff I enjoy the most. So.
Yeah, no, I could definitely can see the soul part, R&B. For sure. I naturally gravitate towards that kind of music in general. So I'm trying to think. It was a song you dropped in 2025. I like Finesse. I don't know if that's the one.
Thank you.
Finesse was really hard.
I love Finesse.
Yeah, Finesse is hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
bullshit. I felt that one.
Shout out Drake. That was a cover. Some people didn't know that was a cover. I was like, how you don't know that song?
I actually did not know that.
That's crazy. See, that's crazy.
It's like a whole new song.
Now go listen to it after.
No.
Now you like mine more because you heard it first.
And the freestyle you just did recently, right? Yeah, that was cool. What do you think you gravitate more towards? Like when you like really feel something, like, is it the rap? Is it the R&B? Like, is it the pop? Like,
it's like, I don't know. I think it's so vague to say all of it, but it's like moods. It's like whatever mood I get caught in the day I come across a beat or a sound, or even like today, for example, I was listening to, cause I be in my sad girl bag, like heavy. And that's, I think, where the R&B soul and all that comes from, why people like Finesse. I have another one called Believe People Love, I think, because that touches that side of me. And I sound very tender on it. Cause it is, like, it's like you hear me feeling vulnerable, I guess, through it, and people that
resonate with it. For sure. Yeah.
So, but like today I was listening to, but that can like blend into rap, because I was listening to Meek and Friday, Proud of Me. Is that what it's called? I think so.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, it just be putting me in my feelings. I didn't lose my dad like him, nothing, but with the way he'll say it, if I hear passion and like choking up pain, like I feel it deep.
Bullshit.
So like, Feel It in the Air, Beanie Siegel. I have my own little version of that. I wrote, I put out through video, not really like a record, but yeah. So like either a blend or just one sharp version of one or the other type of sound, whether it's R&B, rap, whatever. Like if it's dance, especially, like I feel like there's this big side of me that would like soul rock with like EDM rock and all that. I just haven't like expressed it yet, but like I be singing along to shit. I freestyle on my own to shit where it's like,
yeah, mad versatile.
Yeah.
I fuck with that, and I think that's a big component into like a lot of the more longevity of artists, is the ability to expand on who they are and how they express themselves, which is really a talent. Do you know where that comes from?
I think it's my exposure to like a multi-layered cultural experience in my life. Like I said, I'm Armenian, so, and I'm first generation American born. So my household was heavily Armenian. My dad is really big into music. Like he taught himself the guitar. He writes songs to this day and stuff. So his own taste was very, very versatile, like, and fluid. Like he'd listen to like reggaeton and like Lil Kim, and then
it's funny as shit.
Carlos Santana. Like it would just go all over the place on top of like Armenian hits that like, so, and then growing up in Philly is a whole other like, that's my experience, that's not their experience. So like it adds a whole other layer that, I think
for sure. And speaking of how you grew up, could you speak about that a little bit more, about growing up Armenian, and maybe how music, like they saw you doing music, how they responded to that and all that? Like
my family? I don't think my dad was surprised at all, because I feel like he probably credits himself.
Yeah.
With my mom, I mean, they knew I was into theater heavily and acting. They were like more so just like skeptical on like how far I really want to take it and invest myself, because it's risky to put your eggs in that basket, at least in their eyes, especially because coming to America, surviving here means like you do it the practical way. Doctor, lawyer, doctor, engineer, pick one. Exactly. And I was going completely off the grid. Like they hoped my high school and like outside of school passion projects were just like, yeah. But when you get serious, you're going to pick something for real. And I'm like, yeah, this is for real. And they're like, what do you mean? I remember my mom sitting me down also telling me how like no man is really gonna, I guess, be like, because that's another thing. It's tradition. They're very traditional. The culture is to where like, get married, have a baby. What are you doing? Like, and she was just kind of like, but what about that part? And I'm like, the right person will like support that. And then she's just like, that's not a lot of men who are gonna support what you're trying to go after. And I just remember telling her like, then so be it. Like, they let them filter out. I don't want nobody forcing themselves to like sit through something they don't like to do. This is what I care about, and if I give up, then I'm unhappy. So which one matters more? And everybody goes quiet, and then it's like, so yeah, because even then the whole marriage thing, but also like about my career in general. Like I remember her sitting down looking at me when I said I'm so dead ass.
Yeah.
She just looked out the window speechless, like, all right. Like I guess we about to go in for this. And yeah, that was like 10 years ago. So she'll bring it up now. Like that was 10 years ago. You still ain't shit. We're just like, oh, what are we seeing happen or not? If it's not on paper, it's like you know what I mean? The type of stuff that is on paper.
How do you respond to that?
I just protect it as best as I can by like not deflecting, but just being like closing that conversation. They also kind of tiptoe around me with that because they know I'm very sensitive about it because it comes from trying to protect that. That's like my sense of freedom.
Sure.
So
it's who you are at the end of the
day. And they know that, but like to foreign parents, they're like, freedom, you have so, look at you compared to us, you have so much freedom. I'm like, no, you echo in my brain like for years by how I was like, you know, raised. So like the harder part to me has also been that when they're not there telling me what they think, I've walked through experiences hearing, thinking it's my own judgment or consciousness, but it's really, if I unpack it, rooted in what their fears the whole time. So it is tough, but yeah.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. I think honestly, and most parents, they're coming from a place out of love. You know, they want you to be safe. They want you to take the right route, the safest route possible, because they don't want to see their little baby being like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's survival, and they're looking for security to your survival. So I totally get it. It's just no way for me to dumb it down enough. They don't do this. They're not. They didn't pursue what I pursued. So to them, it's completely. And then when you know when things do start rolling, there's gonna be like, you know. That's what I tell them.
Yeah.
If there's anything I tell them, just like, just wait, just stay patient, just wait.
And yeah, I think you are right when you say it's fear. And I think that a lot of people can understand this because a lot of people are afraid of your own potential because they never were secure in their own. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about parents. I'm talking about anyone else in your life as well. That like, oh, why are you doing that? Like, why not go this route? Why not go this route? And honestly, it's a reflection of their own fears.
I'm sure they also sense a little bit that like I struggled through it just to get to do what I want to do. And they're like, you shouldn't have to struggle, or like you don't have to be struggling as hard. Like, and then how do you explain like, but it's worth it. I'm passionate about this. You could say that, but they're just like, but are you happy? And we struggle as artists. Like if you're not given a, you know, investment money from somewhere, then you going out of pocket, there's so much you have to like filter through to figure out a way to support yourself as an artist on top of surviving. So that's been a thing. Yeah.
I mean, but this is all what we signed up for, you know what I'm saying? Following our passions and all that. Let's talk about if you ever had any doubts, any low points, any times where you feel like giving up and how you persevered through that. I'll take one too.
Doubts. I'm a Capricorn. From what I've learned, the pessimism is natural. So, and also I get reactions of even my own audience that supports me, sensing how much doubt I can have on myself, probably to this day. Like I more than ever have been like rooting for myself to like fix the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
But it's very like easy to just fall into that because doubts, there's a lot of pressure behind the doubts. Again, when it's not just me, it's like I know everyone's watching and waiting for something to come about all that I've invested myself into.
Right.
So the days that get really hard or I'm drained or anything like that, I myself will be like, damn, like, is this paying off? Is this worth it? That still happens and has always happened. Especially when I was younger, you're thinking, oh, by this age, this will happen. By that age, probably it'll happen. Oh, okay, I probably need like, and then this big thing never happens. It's just you trying to see the fruits of your labor for real. So, yeah.
Yeah,
it creeps in often, but yeah.
How do you persevere through that though? Like, what do you do? What do you say to yourself, or how do you get past it?
Lately, I feel like when I watch back on what I've already like created artistically, I'm so proud of myself for real. Compared to like, just never, like I said, when I started music, like, and even with like, just all across the board comedy, all that, like thinking back to like when I was way younger, just hoping I could.
Yeah.
grow up to be an artist, like, and realizing like you already are that, like you
Wow, yeah.
already did all this and that, like things aren't supposed to just fall in your lap every day. You do have to work and earn it, and that'll like work its way for you eventually too. Like what you already put out will like speak for you, and just keep putting stuff out. So like share what I experience. Sometimes things get drafted and not used, so I don't share, but and then it'll feel like maybe whatever I've put out hasn't performed how I hope. But then like I think just social media makes artists too attached to that. So I've had to also like rewire and, you know, unlearn that way of thinking. So
no bullshit. And that's something I call reclaiming your power. Reminding yourself who you are and like where you're at. Cause you get so like fixated on the chase, you know what I'm saying? The chase, because I don't think there's really a thing called making it anymore, because once like we're humans and like once we get something we just want more. You know what I'm saying? So I think
it's like you make it.
No, for sure.
Like
you're already doing the thing that you say you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're already here. If you know what I'm saying, like if you say you're a rapper or you're an artist, once you make your first song, you are that. You know what I'm saying?
Someone knows you as just a rapper or artist for that song, even if you never put out another one. Someone heard it and sees you in that light already. Like that's pretty cool to think about.
No, and that's really reclaiming your power, and it should motivate you to keep going as well, because just because you feel like you're not at where you think you should be at doesn't make your value any more or less, you know. But were there any low points that you could think back to?
I was gonna mention to close what you're talking about, because it just keeps reminding me. I don't remember which J. Cole song it was, but it was on the Forest Hills album, or Forest Hills Drive album. Great album, great time of my life. I love that music. Encapsulates like time that way, but because I was ripe and like didn't do anything yet, like musically, like barely started professionally pursuing acting. I was out of school, but he said basically, I forget the bar, but it was basically saying like, you get caught up chasing, you miss out on what's in front of you because you just want to see the proof of what's the point of chasing what you think you love. You don't even know that yet.
Right.
That's me unpacking the simple bars it was put in. But like, I think about that a lot. That grounds me, because it's like, and also with acting, like there's a book, I forget which one because there's so many. One of them kind of teaches that too. Like an actor trying to like live up to something, to be like carry this life experience into a character, and the teacher telling them like, but what about your life experience? And they're like, well, like, oh, XYZ. And he's like, be present. Like be present, take in every day from your life, because that is your experience, that's your material, like at the end of the day. So I realized that also a way I kind of like persevere is like everything happening right now is what you'll miss one day.
No bullshit.
So like, you know, don't forget that.
That's essentially just grounding yourself. Like I have the same thing. Like, you know, my dreams are so grandiose and like so huge that you can miss a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can miss a lot from your thing. Sometimes I talk to people like, I'm a mindset coach, and some of my clients, I talk to them like, oh, what are you good at? Or what's something of value that you've experienced? Or what's your most proudest memory or your most favorite memory? They don't know. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea. And if you can't tell me about yourself, what makes you think that you can tell me about your future? You know what I'm saying? So it's really good to reflect on who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because we get so caught up in the social media, like, what are they doing? What should I be doing? What have you done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to see the past before you can see the future.
Absolutely. It's just easy to fall into that because I'm no better than that sometimes. I don't try to like vocalize it to not let my brain hear it, that I'm comparing myself, but like internally sometimes it's too easy on social media, and everything is a highlight. Everything is a just a thing to show off, and rightfully so. Like I think it's natural that we treat it that way, but it makes us dilute it a little bit.
It does.
But lowest points.
There you go. I don't have to remind you. Go ahead.
No, yeah, lowest points. I would say, they happen more like internally, more than like I'm lucky enough to have had found a way or have found support through like surviving. Yeah. But even when it's gotten really tight, like I never like asking for help. I'm working on that, but like to this day, it's just like I'd rather swallow whatever's going on.
For sure.
But there were things that happened a few times that like I can't really, no one can help me out of it if they wanted to. It's just a part of either a decision I made or something I let happen or something I walked myself into.
Right.
So I think like aside from like childhood, because we don't gotta go that far, but where I think that led me, I'm just saying, like,
you can go wherever you
everyone
want.
has those, and that's why I'm like, my lowest point was in childhood. Childhood is childhood. I made the most of it because I was a kid. I don't know nothing else. But where it led me, I think also just like pressure, standards, and like again, my household and how I was raised. Like, I guess constantly correcting myself or like trying to live up to something or on any form, not just like like am I what have I made of my life, but just like what kind of like how to carry myself. I had moved to New York for a while after a breakup. I even had before that breakup. During high school, towards the end, was in I started college, was taking like 5 classes at once, worked 3 jobs, and was in a really bad relationship where I was like allowing a lot of fuck shit.
Yeah.
And because I thought like, I didn't realize I was like conditioned to tolerate just to see the good out of a really toxic dynamic because it was normalized to some extent, and that carried over into the next relationship and then to when I wasn't in one and was by myself. And when I was by myself is when I think I hit a low because like just decisions with like who I let get close to me and for the reasons I would. And I think I was moving more subconsciously than intentionally. I thought I was intentional, but I was masking a lot of emotional like ignoring instincts or being like, I put myself as a woman in a situation I could have avoided, but it like scarred me. And I was like, I never want to end up here again. And I don't blame myself fully, but looking back, I'm just like, you ignored the mess till you couldn't. So
buried yourself.
Yeah. So, and that came from a lot of like people pleasing and like taking on like thinking I have to like be agreeable, likable or whatever. And like I still have always been very sure of like myself in my personality. But when it came to, I think like when it got personal is where it would get like fuzzy for me, where I'm like, do I not? They seem safe. I think I'm safe in this environment or this, not environment, but like emotionally.
Yeah.
Like just because someone would want certain type of access to me, I don't want to be too standoffish. And then like I remember feeling like I envy girls who were like so bold and blunt that like you could write her off as like, she got attitude, she got a bit da-da-da. And I was way too nice to like, I made myself pray in some situations and then like saw that I did that and then didn't stop it.
Wait, what do you mean you made yourself pray?
Like,
and you're I think your strap is showing.
Oh, thank you.
Other way.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Like, maybe that's dramatic of a word, but I just mean like, I made myself seem inviting or available or like I'll allow them to be like to make someone else feel because that's also I think probably a gift and curse of mine is like, and why I ended up in comedy is I love to make people feel comfortable around me. I love for people to feel safe around me.
Yeah.
But I do that for the wrong people sometimes, and I'm thinking that I just want them to feel like they could be themselves, but they know that I'm doing that and it's their way of getting close, and then I'll be cornered in situations if you follow what I'm saying.
No, I hear exactly what you're saying.
And so, and then I end up on the other side completely like self-sabotage, and to me, I realized looking back, it was a form of like self-harming. And then I used like, even we'll say just like how I like treated getting close with men as like oh, you know what? Like if that's how they move, I'm not going to hold weight to nothing either. But then I'll forget it. Well, I'm a woman. Like I have a bigger risk.
Yeah.
in whatever could happen. And then once I find myself there, then I'm like distraught. But I'm like, but I walked myself into that shit.
Right.
They just took
Yeah.
what they thought was an invite, or
Yeah, no,
whatever.
it definitely is very confusing, and especially on top of that, you're saying you have all these external things you're also dealing with
Mm-hmm.
school and working and stuff like that. You know, for Izzy now,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give to her back then on how to juggle all of that while also still remaining respectable and respecting herself, and how
Mm-hmm.
like how what's the balance?
Yeah. I guess it would have been something like no, saying no is a
Mhm.
superpower, and like
Yeah.
standing on you're not gonna get hurt standing on it. Like, and
Right.
if they try to make you feel like there's backlash for that, like that's God blocking,
Mm.
like you're blocking, you're just like filtering it out. Like
Okay.
whoever's challenging your boundary is not for you in the first place.
Rejection is protection.
That's what the words I'm looking for.
I feel
Quite
like,
literally,
I feel like I
yes.
knew you were
Yes,
trying to
that's
say.
exactly what. And redirection too.
Mm, for sure.
Because I've run into that outside of like my experience with men, but just like on the pursuit, like sometimes
Yeah.
rejection is redirection because that's not, you meant to go higher maybe, and you don't
Yeah.
think, you know, you might not think like you might think the choice you want to make is taking you to the higher route you think you're going, but God's like, it's actually
Yeah,
this
it's this
way.
way.
You gonna see why if you don't trust me. Like,
Bullshit. No
you
bullshit.
know.
And
So
that's something I've had to learn over and over again
mm-hmm.
because I'm a little hard headed in that way, and I just feel like I get so tunnel vision sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
this needs to work this exact way, or it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's what life does to you. It puts you in a situation where okay, there's no other route to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just the way you have to go. Sometimes you have to take rejection and go that way. That's trying to tell you to go.
Mm-hmm. And then also like realizing what cards you're dealt, and that they're not always like factors that hold you back. They're things you have to find the advantage of having
For
them.
sure.
Like
For
it's
sure.
not gonna look the same as everybody else's, but there's a power in yours. You just have to step into it and be open to
Definitely.
like letting it be clearer to you.
Yeah.
So
I think people that struggle, like let's just say someone out there, I feel like you might have like control issues and you might want to just control your life. I feel like a good tip to have is just like letting go and letting God. I think this is why religion or just having some type of faith is really important, or
Exists,
something
yeah.
bigger than you is really important because sometimes you gotta like let shit happen. You know what I'm saying you gotta follow like whatever you're feeling, and whatever happens it gets birthed out of that. It gets birthed out of
even
that.
if it's a mistake,
Yeah.
it's meant to teach you something on
For
the
sure.
end. Like, not to say carelessly, blindly make
Nah,
them. It's
nah,
just like you thought that was the move. You'll find out why it's not, but it'll help you move forward, avoiding that.
For sure.
Unless
For
you
sure.
gotta learn it a few more times because you're stubborn, which happens.
Nah, yeah.
But yeah, also to that point, like God and spirituality really does help me, and
I
like
was gonna ask you about that. What you believe in now?
yeah. I mean, I grew up like it's basically like semi-orthodox Armenians, but it's like a branch called Gregorian. Um, but that's not what I like strictly practice. I
Yeah.
like by those guidelines. It's just that was the introduction as a kid, but how I maintain that relationship with God is really like I feel it. Older I get too, I feel like it's in everything. It's in all of us. There's even this interview of this. I don't remember what the guy's name is, but he's like damn near like a philosopher. And he's like, "How do you know you're not on heaven? You're not in heaven already, and you're making a mess of it." And I'm like, "We are in heaven already, making a mess of it. Like, Earth is providing us everything. When you look around, and like that comes with downs that you just, I don't know, nature will take out who it must. But I just mean to say, like, to that point, it also like reminds me too, where like the times I want to give up or the times I feel like tested strongly to where I'm like nearing like, do I just stop? Do I just say fuck everything? Like I realize sometimes like, yo, God, it's gotta be God for you to have had and held on to the vision you've had for this long.
For sure.
You wouldn't just it's in you so
Yeah,
strongly for a reason. It was given to you. It's like a torch lit and you're just holding it. Sometimes it feels like it's burning you or it's getting real hot, but you're like, yo, but remember you have it for a reason.
So
That's how it feels for me lately. Cause as hard as I might get, the older I get, trying to like maintain everything, I'm just like, am I too old for this? Am I too whatever? And I'm like, no, there's a big vision I'm following for this long because it was put in me for a reason. Like,
no
I
bullshit.
can't help but to believe that.
No, and I really do resonate with that as well, because I've tried living a regular life. I think I've definitely tried to do that before. Every time it feels like this weight I have, this weight I have to do something creative. Like, it's not even necessarily just podcasting, just in general, just doing something that's outside of the regular programming. You know what I'm saying? And I've always had it. What do you think that is?
Where what?
What do you think that is? Why do you think you have this feeling, this calling?
I think part of it is like ties back to like my own inner child and remembering what I like, how I wouldn't say saw the world because I couldn't articulate that then, but what it felt like then, where it felt like I fit in or didn't.
Yeah.
And wherever I didn't, trying to find a way of how I can leave making the world have that space for that version of me because that's someone else next time. It's not like to be so whatever. It's just like I feel like I have to fulfill that for because she's still in me.
Right.
And like, yeah, from it being like my vision also expanding more into just music and acting, but like a whole, like it's bigger than acting. It's like I love film, I love music because it was something that reflected back a digestible way of feeling life.
Yeah.
The good and the bad. And then where are you in that? Where do you relate to that? And with me, for identity purposes, for example, never saw big representation for Armenians in America that much, like in media that much, none of that. The older I've gotten, the more I'm like, maybe part of this calling is to like help put that on the map a little bit more because of all the reasons like we struggle and like what our story is in our roots that like we need that. I don't know if people know much about us or not, but it's like our diaspora and communities like our like our strongest tool. And that's also why people get so like protective and scrutinized and like they want you to get it right. And like our community's tough, like cutthroat if you not the standard they see you in individually, not just as a whole, but like everyone's sizing you up because it's like they're going to think of us when they look at you. Are you doing it right? Yeah. And it's like, I'm not here to only represent that, but I know it's gonna inevitably be a huge part of that. So it's like, how do I represent? And then also as a woman, as everything else, but just as little me who like knows what she felt and how to like make her proud and happy.
Bullshit.
And then create whatever I'll have by the time I bring my own kids in the world, you know what I mean? Or the way I inspire the next kid. Because, they're next. Like,
for sure. Yeah, and something that I've always, I've been realizing, and I'm realizing over the last like 5, 6, 7 years, everyone is trying to appease their younger self, whether they realize it or not.
Absolutely.
I've had this gift, no bullshit, and I haven't even talked about it on the pod before, but like when I look at somebody, I can see who they was when they're younger.
Me?
No bullshit. Like
I will stalk your Facebook page and look for a family photo that you're tagged in of when you were younger. I kid you not, I'm this insane, but like when I know I like someone a lot is when I'm doing that. I'm looking to find what you were like younger. I want to see. Because, like, why do I feel connected? What is it? Oh, my God, would we have been cool if we were kids?
No bullshit.
But it's so real.
And everything that you want right now or everything that you dislike is because of who you were when you were younger. No bullshit.
Absolutely.
I think I have a hero complex, too, because of when I was younger as well. Yeah, no bullshit.
Yo. Maybe that's where that comes from a little bit, too.
Because remember I asked you, I was like, what I asked you? I said, I asked you something about your younger self. I think I said some of your younger self. The reason why I asked you that is because, where does the calling come from? And the reason why I asked you that is because I really want to know, because sometimes I don't remember. I don't really completely understand. And I think you are right. It really does come from you wanting to understand the space that you're in and wanting to give that back to your younger self.
I'm really passionate about kids in general. Like when I was in school doing all that, I dropped out, by the way. Shout out Kanye for all the college dropouts. But I kept switching majors because I couldn't go do more arts in college. It wasn't, I was getting pressured to like figure out what to do with your life. I'm like, okay, I'll teach. But I had that type of instinct, and I definitely still feel like down the line in life, I want to teach or like have a season where I do something like that, because I remember how impressionable of a time that was in my life and how like sacred and like what being a part of a village really means. Like I'm very protective and enthused by kids. Like they treat me like I'm a kid half the time when I'm around them, because maybe they sense that, because I'm very into being like comedic, goofy, all that. Like I stay so in touch with that by my nature, because it's like the last bit of joy you have as an adult is like not letting go of like, bro, at the end of the day, you're a speck in this world. And a child moves unconsciously to that, and look at how they'll like, you give them sticks and they'll find a way to like play with them. I'm not saying, we live in a more civilized world than that, but it's just like,
no, it's
the
imagination.
Most purest form
Imagination.
of being. Yeah.
Sure.
So it's like, I never want to lose sight of that. I had like family figures in my life who I think exuded that a lot in their own way. And kind of what like, and my family in general like has a really good sense of humor. They're really like, don't take themselves too seriously. I feel like that definitely helps and built me subconsciously to become like that in my personality. So in general, like I think that's important to protect within ourselves, each other, and actual kids. So yeah.
I really do agree. Children are the future.
Yeah. I was saying that to say I was like an education major at some point, thought I was really going to go through whatever, but yeah.
To wrap this up, we can actually talk. I'm actually building an emotional intelligence, emotional mastery program for children.
That's dope.
And I want to bring in certain guests, certain days. So we could talk about that.
Oh, I'd love that.
At some point. But let's talk about the music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the music.
Let's talk about it.
What inspires your music, do you think?
Rage, sensuality, sadness, but also like what's the word for like the way you say fuck it and take a shot and want to have fun.
Right.
All of those things combined. Yeah. Like that's what I feel the most close to those emotions and feelings when I make or feel inspired by it. So
okay, so what's your creative process there when you're making music, between you get the idea, when you come in the booth? Like tell me, break that down. How do you make music?
Most of the time it'll be I feel like a warm-up is listening to music. Then I'll find a mood I kind of want to create for myself, so I'll look up a beat or even just like sing my own type of melody in my head, or layer what I'm hearing in the background with my own, like go at it. Like I have back in the day a lot of freestyles to existing songs and beats where like I use the open space to just fill in my own take on it, and that'll like warm me up. But if I go looking for a beat or something, that'll be next usually, and will definitely depend on what mood I was listening to or I'm feeling. A lot of times my mood will determine what I turn on. Like I brought up Proud of Me by Friday and Meek, because I was like, and I saw so many people's interpretation of it, of their way to like say hope they're proud of, make it some being whatever. And I was like, damn, like I started to hear how my own take would go at it. So it came from like heavily inspired by other artists and existing music, to then when I would find my own, it would be something where like I'd say like something has to be infectious to like, I want to hear that, even if it's one noise in the beat,
like again and again,
or something. Yeah, like what I love, I've been in because of that song and other ones in the bag of the last few days, is like realizing, yo, Philly is that pain music capital.
Shit.
And I don't know if it's our environment or what, that I'm like, that's a perfect place to put my rage, because the rage behind it is just pain. Shit. And so like, certain rap beats, that's what gets me going with that. Is like, I don't be trying to come off like I'm this tough bitch, whatever, but it's like this toughness I never get to express because I'm actually so personable and keeping the peace so much that like that like sense of like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this though, doesn't go anywhere. So it can go in the music type of thing.
Your outlet.
Or if it's something slower, sensual, whatever, like something would have had to happen in my life.
Yeah.
Or I hear something I really like and then it inspires me, provokes me to like look up something similar like that of sounds, instrumentals, or a beat to then layer with like my own melody on top of. I'll record it on my phone, save it. If I still like it in a few days, I'll start putting words to it. And it's always gibberish. I'm not like a
just catching the flow.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by people who just go off the dome so easily. And like the more I do it, the more I realize it's in me more than I think.
Yeah.
But it's like I hold back because I just want to get through making the melody before pressuring myself with words. But I might be overthinking it even then. But like I'll go back, hear the melody that I'm coming up with, and fill it up with words.
For sure.
That process, though, I won't lie, it takes me forever sometimes. Like to finish a whole ass song does take me forever sometimes. People be like, why don't you have mixtape out or this or that? When's the next thing? I'm like, bro, when I finish writing the last 5 lines I can't think of, like I'll hit a wall for sure. But
shit, I was about to ask you, what's the future looking like? We got something in store. We got something coming up. What's up?
Yeah.
What we working on? What we doing?
I'm definitely sitting on a bunch of like drafted, almost or done, and just I want visuals to drop it with type of things, which takes so much resourcing, because people's attention spans. So like I feel like visuals are so important, at least to me. Maybe again because of being a theater kid, where I'm like captivate, can't just post a picture with the song. They're not gonna care. Captivate them. Like, so trying to come up with all that in between my free time will be it. But I definitely have a few songs. I think one goes crazy that people like when I tease it, like they love it. There's a few like that I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see like when it's all done and I really drop it. So there's a few
dope
tracks for sure. And then otherwise, like I'm working on showing up more with comedy, with the stand-up. I feel like I love to see that there's some people who just like express that they miss seeing me in that space and in that light. And I'm like, dope. Like I can step back whenever because shit don't ever stop being funny. You can always make fun of life. I could be 40, 50 and still have shit to talk. I'm not gonna wait that long, but I'm just saying like every stage of life has something I could crack jokes about. And even like going to open mics when I would do that more actively, maybe like last year I was a little more active. Not as active as I want to be still, but that's what I'm kind of working on, to be like, all right, like music you've been garnering and watering, and even maybe then you feel like can be more extensive of like a discography or whatever, but like don't forget about this part, because I'm like, these are your magic moments too. So I'm trying to find a balance right now to how to I want to do it all. I want to do it all, and I go crazy trying to like
no bullshit
figure out when to time it, put it out. But like I was just talking to someone today, seasons. You just water until it's their season to be blossoming. So like I'm just right now trying to like, all right, a little bit of everything.
Bullshit.
You know what the things I do put a deadline will be a lot more like music lately. But I'm trying to like schedule my routine out to incorporate everything else more and more, which I'm getting little by little better at. So hopefully that means you'll see more of all sides of me.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. Let's do it. I have one more question for you before we wrap up.
Yeah.
If, God forbid, you were to stop doing everything that you did, music, content, comedy, or whatever the case is, what is one thing you want people to take from you and who you are?
I would say celebrate your existence, whichever way that looks like. That's why I do this, because you unknowingly make others comfortable to do the same, and then you just create a harmonious, higher frequency circle around you.
Right.
I feel like because what you radiate, you attract, and if you want the best for yourself, you can't like get your life together in a day, but you can like move intentionally, not take yourself too serious, and through that find this like fine line of like what makes you feel like it's worth finding what you love and pursuing it.
That's that flow.
Yeah, real shit. So
For some real shit.
hope that made sense.
How you doing? You be perfect. Is there anything you want to say to your supporters?
I don't know. Thank you so much for everything. I always want to like make y'all feel included, make y'all feel like, we're connected, and I'm always learning and trying to find ways to do that. And thank you for all the grace and patience you give me and support, and we rock together. So
For sure,
yeah.
for sure, man. Well, let them know where they can find you at.
Isabella Armina, ISABELLA ARMINA, aka Izzy de la Baby. You crazy.
All right, man. It's been Izzy. It's been Saint. I'm gonna see y'all next one. I appreciate you coming out.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, you be safe. Say bye.
All right. Bye.